Hi guys, and welcome to the Ultimate Niche Marketing Blueprint. This is part 1, outside the box keyword research with me, Josh Cohen. Now, the first thing I need to ask is that if you haven't done so already, you need to pause the video and go and read the introduction. It's very important you have a complete overview of this lucrative business model before we get started, as you really do need to understand how we can make money with that. So pause the video now and go to workwithjoshcohen.com/niche and read the introduction. Brilliant. So I assume at this point everybody's gone back and watched the introduction, or they've read it already, so that's fine. Let's get started. What we're going to be covering today is keeping everything organized, an introduction to the Google keyword tool, brainstorming a niche. We're then going to switch live and I'm going to show you how I use Google keyword tool secrets to find niches, analyzing the search engine competition, and finally recording all of the data. So it's very important throughout this process to stay organized, and I want to make this point now before we get into it any further. There is a lot of information that we will be dealing with, especially if you like the sound of this and start doing it every day, so it's better just from the start to keep everything organized. So that means creating folders and subfolders for each of your chosen niches and sites, using an Excel spreadsheet or Google Drive to record all the research that you've got, and I have a template that I'll be providing below for this. And finally, do not move on to a new term until you've made sure you have recorded all information. Now, I've done this a few times where you get excited, you find a potential keyword, you go down that path and it leads you off from where you were a second ago. You then come back and try and think of the keyword or key phrase that you had before, and it's gone. So don't make this mistake, and just make sure you record every bit of information about that keyword before you move on to the next. Google Drive is my choice as it auto saves your work. So I've used Google's Excel spreadsheets before, had a power cut and lost a few hours of work. It's not fun. With the Google Drive, it auto updates every however long, I'm not too sure, but it's worth using, and I've got my Google Drive template available to download underneath this video. Okay, so right, brainstorming a niche. So let's get started on brainstorming a niche. Now, there's a million ways that this can be done, and I'm sure you'll find your own, I'm sure you'll pick up your own routine after you start doing it a few times. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how I choose my niches with my step-by-step process. Now, putting this in simple terms, we need to choose something broad or something that we like. The reason I say something that you like is because it's easier to get a bit of in-depth knowledge on the subject. If not a problem. I'll show you some techniques that we can get insider knowledge on the keyword. That's absolutely fine. Give yourself a 5-minute crash course in your chosen niche. So I'm going to show you exactly how to give yourself a crash course, so you'll have more knowledge on the subject than any other SEOer, any other marketer online, 9 times out of 10. And obviously, getting to work with the Google keyword tool, I'm going to show you exactly how I use it, all of the tips and tricks, and why I use this rather than any of the paid keyword research tools such as Market Samurai or Longtail Pro or any of the other ones that charge you far too much money for something that you can do for free. So briefly, the process is finding a broad niche, find some outside the box angles, that's the theme of this first video, using the keyword tool to get all of the stats and information that you need. Check if the domain is still available, that's very important. Fill in the data sheet. Sorry guys, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm drinking water, so if I quieten this, that's why. Fill in the data sheet that I'm going to provide below. Choose your sites, and we're done. So without any more ado, let's go live. I'm going to show you exactly how we do this. Okay, so the first step, as mentioned, let me get up a Firefox browser here. The first step, as I mentioned in the previous slide, is to find a broad niche. Now, this can be something you like or not. It doesn't really matter if you're prepared to outsource the content writing, which is probably the smartest thing to do anyway. It's certainly what I do. Now, a couple of rules when choosing a niche is do not go for local terms. Don't go for anything that's got a place name in it, as you know, the Google Geo algorithm for local searches is different, so we're not going to be going after that. We want nice national or international niches. The next thing is try to pick a product or a service. Now, you'll get a better understanding of this as we go through, and there are exceptions to this, but as a rule, we need to be able to market something. At the end of the day, we've got to make money, so we want it to be a product or a service. Now, for this tutorial, I'm going to run through 2 different niches. These are extremely broad, and there is so much money to be made with these alone. So what I'm going to do is run through my exact system twice, just so you can get a really detailed overview of exactly what I do, and with a couple of examples, because I know it's well, me personally, when I watch a tutorial or a video and they give one example, I always wish they'd give another, or 9 times out of 10 wish they'd give another. So what we're going to do is, the first niche we're going to go for is video games. I'm going to show you how we can make some money with video games. Very, very broad niche. There's new products, new games coming out every day. So this niche is evergreen, I guess. There's always something you can make money. So Google AdWords, what we're going to do is come over here first and set this up for how we like it. We want to switch over to keyword ideas. We want to open this up. We're going to make our country US, and we're going to tick exact rather than broad. So they're the setup that we want for that. The next step that we're going to do, as we're going for video games, is come over to Google and we're going to go with best video games 2012. And what we're going to do is we're going to look through here and we're going to click on something. So this is how you get a crash course in your chosen niche using Google. So many people do not do this. Just Google whatever broad niche that you found. You can enter a number of different suffixes and prefixes for the searches. So we could be doing top 10. We could do top 10 video games. You could do best-selling video games. You could do, there's endless amounts of things that we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're just going to have a look through and see if anything catches our eye. Okay, so I haven't heard of that. Nor that. Okay, so this one doesn't look so great. It looks more anime sort of style. So let's go top 10 video games 2012. Okay, 10 best video games of 2012. This looks more like it. So, okay, Dishonored, no. XCOM, Borderlands. I've heard of Borderlands. Halo, right. I know Halo's big. So we're going to come back across to the Google keyword tool, and what we're going to do is just pop in Halo 4 USA on exact match. And we're going to see what we're working with. So what we can see here is, let me just talk you through what the numbers mean, or what the columns mean. So your keyword is obviously the keyword that you've gone for. The brackets around it mean that you've gone for an exact match. You can see the brackets around it there. The competition, this is not SEO competition. Ignore this for any terms of picking a niche or anything like that. Ignore this column for SEO competition. It's nothing to do with it. It's AdWords competition, so pay-per-click competition. The global monthly searches are the total amount of searches in the world, so that's 1 million searches per month. And then the local monthly searches are the amount of searches in your chosen location. So we've gone with United States. You can see there's 450,000 searches, 43p per click. So this is the average cost per click. What this means is, if you had adverts on your website around Halo 4, you could expect to achieve this sort of price every time somebody clicked on one of your ads. So it's quite an important metric to pay attention to. What we're going to do is, with the video game niche, because it's so broad and so wide, what we're going to do is just chance our luck. So we can look here and we're going to click on local monthly searches, and what this will do is give us from the highest to the lowest amount of searches in the USA. So we can see Halo 4 release date gets 49,000 searches a month. That's huge. The issue with this is that Halo 4 was released at the end of last year, so this search number is only going to decrease now. It hasn't got much longevity, so we're going to stay away from that one. Halo 4 trailer, here we go, something like this. 22,000 searches a month, 80p cost per click. So what that means is, every time somebody clicks on an ad, so if you've got a website based around the Halo 4 trailer, every time you've got ads on there, every time someone clicks an ad, you can expect to achieve this amount. So with that search volume and that cost per click, that is an extremely lucrative keyword, providing of course we can get the exact match domain. So what we're going to do is come over here Now, it makes me do this every now and again because I run so many queries through Google. Just likes to check that I'm a real person. But what we can see is Halo 4 trailer. We're going to jump across to a domain name place. So I like Namecheap. I've got the link below. It's the cheapest place I found. You can get topleveldomains.com.org.net for $10.69. There's always coupons available that knock $1 off or something or other. So, you know, sort of $9 to $10 a domain, that's what you want to be paying. We're going to come across Halo 4 trailer and see if anything is available. So this is the first step when choosing a niche. You want to make sure that the exact match domain is available. We only want .org, .net or .com. Nothing else will do if we're targeting you know, an international market or the US. We only want these three. So what we can see is halo4trailer.com is taken, but there is halo4trailer.net and halo4trailer.org, so it's looking promising. What you want to do as a first rule is go to the .com site and see what they've got on there, or any of the sites that are taken. Okay, brilliant, that's what we wanted to see. So there's no content on here at all. This is literally just an ad splash page. So someone's registered the domain and hoping to get, you know, people coming to the exact match domain, but they haven't done any ranking at all, any optimization. Nothing to worry about there at all. So the next step is to come back across to the search area, to the Google tool, and what I've got is a plugin called SEO Quake. I'll put the link below. It's free plugin, very valuable plugin, and what it will tell you is the page rank of, you know, the search results. It will also tell you about links, Alexa ranking, social signals, loads of stuff. What we can see here first of all is that there's a number of videos at the start. Now this is expected, obviously, with a trailer. Most people are going to expect the video, but one good thing about this is, you know, it's not always that hard to outrank videos, considering that they don't have that much content in terms of a description, or most of the time they do not. If people were more sensible, they'd use the 5,000 character allowance in YouTube. And that's how you rank YouTube videos. But anyway, that's on a different topic. So what we can see down here is Halo 4 trailer, Halo 4 a Hollywood trailer. What we're looking for is anything that's got Halo 4 trailer together. So here you can see that's quite strong in the title, in the page title, Halo 4 videos and trailers. That's not too bad because it's not an exact match. News for Halo 4 trailer. So what we can see is, though, although the PRs of these sites are 3 and 4, ideally we only want to be looking for 1s and 2s. This is such a broad niche in terms of the video game, in terms of the sites that are going for it. They're all game-based sites. They're not Halo 4 based sites. So that's positive news for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide, yeah, this looks okay, and we're going to flick across to a keyword research template in Google Docs. Now this template's below for free download. You guys can have this, share it, use it. What I've done in this example is just blacked out some keywords that I've been working with. I wanted to leave some numbers in there so you can see the sort of figures that I'm used to dealing with and what you can expect. But obviously I blacked them out as I'm not having you guys stealing some ideas. Well, none of these ones anyway. I'm going to give you these two for free. So we're going to go with Halo 4 trailer. The searches, this is the exact number of searches. Excuse me, I'm just having a sip of water. So you can see the exact number of searches here is 22,200 in the USA. We don't want to go for the global, we want to go for the local. So we've got that number, 22,200. We'll switch back over here. 2200. The next thing that we want to pop in is the cost per click estimate. So we can see here it's 80p. You will see this in cents if you're in the US or any other currency. Okay, and from that you can see that my SEO value has been worked out both in UK and USA. You don't necessarily need both of these. I do, just because I deal with pounds, but I mainly target America, so it just helps for me. But in order to get this calculation, it's very simple, but it's very important. What you need to do is multiply the number of exact searches by the average cost per click, and then take 1% of that. So in formula, that is that times that in brackets, and then times 0.01 to get 1%. So that's sort of a worst case monthly return from people clicking on the ads. That is what you can expect to achieve, worst case, per month from this site. Now, you know, that might not set any alarm bells ringing off, but that is a very, very decent amount there to be going with. In fact, I've actually got this wrong because I've put 2,200 in rather than 22,000. There we go. Right, so you can see this number's jumped up enormously now. So potentially very lucrative monthly return on this. And as a quick rule, I'm just going to drop this in now. I'm going to do some further guides on flipping in the future. But if you wanted to turn around and sell this website, you can expect to achieve between 15 and 20 times the monthly revenue. So if you've got a site that's making £100 a month from ads, you can expect to get £1,500 to £2,000 for that site. Even if it's a month old, doesn't matter, as long as it's got some proven earnings, that's fine. Next step that we're going to want to do is check that the domain name is available. So as you can see, we've already done that, and we can see that the .org and the .net is. So we're going to come back across and we're going to pop in .org.net. Again, this just helps with keeping everything organized. The next step is finding out where the majority of people are searching for this term, because if you've got a term like Halo 4 trailer and only 20% of the people searching are in the USA and 70% are in the UK, then you want to switch this up and target the UK rather than USA. In this example here, we can see Halo 4 trailer, here we go. So there's 22,000 searches in America and there's 40,000 searches in the world. So just over 50%, which is great, that's fine. You can tell we've obviously got the majority share there, which is all we're looking for, that's fine. And then finally, the last point that is crucial to put in is the SEO competition. Now in order to get this, I do it as a phrase match, which means that I'll put quotations around my key phrase, hit the search bar again, and you can see 7.5 million results there. As a broad, what have we got? 76 million, so you can see how much that takes it down. So it's 7.5 million. That is quite a lot. That is a lot of results. Let's hope I've got the right number of digits on that. Well, it's a lot either way. I mean, it's not the end of the world. As I showed you previously, there aren't going to be any people directly backlinking for this keyword. It's going to be mainly review sites and game sites that are up there. So don't let this put you off, especially when you've got a value of this sort of amount. As a rule, my minimum is £10. So I'll build a site out if it's got a £10 per month estimate for the 1%. And as you can see, scrolling through here, the majority of the sites that I go after do. So these sites, some I've started building out. In fact, no, I haven't. This is a new set that I haven't built any of these sites yet. So these are all still available if you can work out what they are just with these metrics, which I don't think is possible. So, but anyway, so the next step after that is simply to buy the domain name. So what we're going to do is click on the one that you want, go through and buy that, and that's as simple as that. Right, so that was Halo 4, guys. I'm going to move on to the next example now. In the next video, I'll show you exactly how to go through, buy it, add it to your hosting, set up, everything else. Everything within this whole process is covered in my 5-part series. It's just we're going to leave it there for now so I can show you another example when it comes to picking the niche. So the next broad niche that I want to go for is movies. Very similar again to the video games niche. It's very broad. There's a number of new movies coming out every day. So it's evergreen again. You're never going to run out of things to go after. A tip with movies is, as soon as you hear about them being released, start googling, find out what people are looking for and make a site, because movies especially, there's so much anticipation. There's always a good couple of months before they are released, and building up that anticipation is fantastic, and there's so many searches, so much money to be made pre-launch of a film. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the same method again. I'm going to come back across to Google, and we're going to go with most popular movies 2012, and we're going to see what that brings up. Okay, I mean there's some mixed results there. Just for the ease of this video, what I'm going to do is top 10. Top 10 for me is the most common search that I'll do, mainly just because it's so instant with the results that you see. Excuse me. Okay, so coming through here, I mean, you can pick any of them. I'm going to pick this one and just have a little look. I mean, to be honest with you guys, I do already have something in mind for this that I watched the other day. Okay, right, here we go. We'll go with The Hobbit. There we go, that's fine. That's what I was thinking of. I watched it the other day, so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, so The Hobbit. So what we're going to do with The Hobbit is come back across to our keyword tool, and we're going to stick The Hobbit in. Make sure it's on US exact. Okay, and what we can see here is that The Hobbit gets 823,000 searches a month in the world, 303,000 searches in the US. Now, that's a lot of searches. Now, what we did in the last example was I told you, you know, with the video games, we can be very cheeky and take some of the more popular ones at the top here. What I'm going to do for this example is show you the other end of the spectrum where we really need to get quite precise and look outside of the box. So how we're going to do that is by scrolling our way through this list here and just having a look at anything that stands out. So you can see here the Hobbit soundtrack. That would be quite a good one to go for. Competition's low. What I'm going to show you in this example as well is how I use the AdWords competition to influence my decisions. So for this example, I don't want anything with a low competition. I want something that's medium to high, because that's going to result in, you know, more advertisers available for the ads, which is ultimately just going to keep driving the price up. So that's what we want. We don't want something with low competition. So coming down here, it's all mainly around the film itself. What we're going to do is have a little think outside of the box and think how we can maybe get some profitable searches around The Hobbit. Maybe not by staying within the actual movies themselves. So if we come back over to Google and we just go with The Hobbit, and what you can see after it is some suggestions here. What we're going to go for is game. The Hobbit game. Let's see what's... Okay, so it looks like there are some Hobbit games out there, so we're going to come back over to the keyword tool again, and we're going to stick in The Hobbit game. And we're going to come down. So right, we can see here, this one's a medium search, so that's good. If you hover over the competition, you'll see a number pop up. This is between 0 and 1. Closer to 1, the higher the competition, so you can see 0.55 is medium. It's got a good level of competition though. What we can see through this, let's just have a look at some of these. Again, we've sorted it by local monthly searches, and we're coming through. What you want to do is just make sure, I mean, the minimum that I've ever gone for is 200 local monthly searches, and that was with a cost per click of, I think, about £8 per click. So I mean, it's all relative. If you've got a low cost per click, sort of below £1, you want maybe, you know, 1,000 plus searches. Anything below that, you can you know, you can scale down a bit. So I can see with this search here, there isn't too much, you know, coming out. We've got a medium here, Hobbit book, I'm sure that's taken. The Hobbit video game, could be okay, but you know, there's not going to be that much profitability in it. I'll show you quickly. The Hobbit video game, 590 and 84p. So we come up here, Hobbit video game, 590 and 84p. We only reach a £5, £4.96 SEO value, so that's not going to cut it. We want £10 or higher. So what I'm going to do is come back across, and I wouldn't be what we're going to do, right, The Hobbit. I'm going to go with The Hobbit, and okay, the next thing you want to do, now the reason that I'm familiar with this is because I did obviously have a play around before I started recording, and I can't remember exactly how I came across this now, but I did come across the Hobbit Lego, and this seems to be quite big. You know, Lego themselves are advertising it quite heavily at the moment. I saw it in a shop the other day. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Hobbit Lego, and we're going to come back across to AdWords and stick it in and see what we get with that. Okie dokie. Right. The Hobbit Legos, we've got 590 searches with a 37 cost per click. and what you can see here is that the competition is high, 0.78. That's what we wanted. Another little trick I can show you is this here, only show ideas closely related to my search terms. So what that will do is it will get rid of anything else that's sort of in there. So as you can see before that, it's going to take any of the words such as Lego and other bits and pieces. See, we've got options here like Lego Ninjago, whatever that is, Lego Star Wars, Lego City, Lego Batman. And now this is a very good way to start, creating niches off of this one, and this is what I'd want to do afterwards. But as I said, we're going to stick with the first term and finish that before we move on. So Hobbit Lego, tick that. And I saw something very interesting that just popped up. Here we go, Lego the Hobbit. Now that, I would imagine that the Hobbit Lego would get more searches, but no, as you can see, Lego the Hobbit gets 8,100 searches, 2,900 searches in the US, with a cost per click of 56 pence, with a high competition. So guys, I think this is a real perfect example. If you see something like this, you should get excited, because you've got a very high amount of searches, you've got a reasonable cost per click, you've got high competition, and because it's a game and because it's branded, it's quite targeted, we can be quite hopeful that there's going to be some domain names available around that. So we're going to do a Google search on that. Let me just close this window, and we can see again there's some videos up at the top here. We can see that the PA for this one is not available. It's obviously quite a new site. It is off the Lego actual domain, so it's going to have a bit of authority behind it, quite a lot of authority behind it. But apart from that, you can see we've got Amazon up here we've got Lego the Hobbit in the title, but we haven't got any URL with the word in. You can see here with Wikipedia you've got / the Hobbit. If that was Lego the Hobbit, that would be something to be a little bit more concerned about, because it's actually in the URL. Now Lego the Hobbit at Toys R Us, again, these sort of things, as I said before, because they are, Amazon and Toys R Us, because they sell a wide variety of products, and the Lego Hobbit section isn't probably going to be their most, their main section. I mean, they may do a promotion on it, but it's highly unlikely that they're going to focus any of their long-term sort of search engine optimization strategy towards specific products like that. They'll go after Lego, but they may not go after Lego the Hobbit. And you can see here they've got a Lego construction sets area, but it's not a specified area for Lego the Hobbit. Same with Amazon, it's in building toys and building sets, building toys, building sets. So all of these, you see 3 Amazon results here that you could easily pass, very easily pass. So again, that's even more encouraging. Next step is to check the exact match domain, come across to Namecheap again, shove that in Lego the Hobbit, and see what we get back. Okay. We can see here legothehobbit.com is taken, but we've got a .net, so it's wide open there. .org is also taken. Again, nothing to worry about. If one of these is available, you can be pretty confident that there aren't too many SEOs targeting this niche, if any, because it's the first thing to do is to buy up the domain names. If you're trying to dominate a niche, you're going to buy up the domain names. So what we're going to do, as in the previous example, is we're going to come across and have a look at the 2 that are already registered. And oh, that one was in a new window. Okay, legothehobbit.org. They've got nothing. Is coming soon. Great. Okay, so there's obviously someone that's found the potential profitability of this niche, and they're targeting it as well. Legothehobbit.com, you can see here this domain was registered at Namecheap, the domain owner, so yeah, someone again maybe like us that has come out and registered this, but they haven't started yet, so it's a great opportunity to jump in and steal all of the traffic. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it into our keyword research spreadsheet over here. So it's Lego the Hobbit. I'm going to put Lego the Hobbit in here. We're going to get the exact number of searches from the keyword tool. So I'm going to come back across and we're going to go Lego the Hobbit, and there's 2,900 searches in the US. So we're going to pop 2,900 searches in, make sure I've got the right amount of digits this time, yes. And then the cost per click that we're looking at is 56 pence a click. And So we'll put 5.6 in there. Right, and what you can see is that this has popped up a £16.24 SEO value. That's $25 SEO value, which is brilliant. I mean, the minimum I'd go for is 10. This is 16. It's hyper targeted. Lego the Hobbit. Anyone searching that is probably going to be wanting Hobbit Lego. You know, it's not a search that you would do for general information. It's a search that you would do to buy a product. So, you know, for that reason alone, it's very, very, very profitable. And in here, we just want to pop in that was it the .org or the .net that was available. We've got the .net available. The .org's taken. That's fine. Again, it doesn't matter. And okay, and then finally, what I'm going to do is actually show you how I use the AdWords competition category. Now, I don't use it that much. I do use it every now and again. It does provide some insights into, you know, the sort of competition that's there. Ultimately, the higher the competition, the better for you. As I said before, you can find this by hovering over the competition column, and it will give you a number between 0 and 1, so 0.8 high. So again, couldn't ask for much better than that. High competition, exact match domain available, reasonably high cost per click. Next two bits that we just need to check are the country and the SEO competition. So we'll come back across and we'll put this in quotations and we'll search that. Right, so you can see 4.8 million results, quite a few results again. Quite a few results. Hang on, there we go, one more zero on that. But you know, the exact match itself is going to be very easy to get, because there, as I showed you in the search results, there are not too many with this phrase exactly in the title or on the URL. So again, nothing too much to worry about there. Finally, the percentage, we're going to come back across. We're going to look 3,000 against 8,000. It's not that great. It's quite good. It's not ideal. What you might want to do with something like that is just quickly check the United Kingdom. Okay, no, so you can see it's gone down to 1,300. The cost per click's gone up a little bit for the UK, but there's less searches, so we're going to stick with the US. And you can see 2,900 out of 8.1. That's fine. And then the next step is simply just to come across, choose your domain and purchase this. Now, after this video is up, I'm not sure how long these two domains are going to be available, probably not very long at all, but I'm not going to buy them. You know, I'll let you guys have these ones as my free examples. So first come, first serve basis. Let me know how it goes. If you need any help at all, obviously ask me. I'm more than happy to do so. Right guys, that concludes the first episode of my niche marketing blueprint. I really hope you've enjoyed watching it. I've definitely enjoyed showing you guys how it all works. This was part 1 out of 5, maybe 6, I'm not too sure yet, but we still have an awful lot to cover either way. The next couple of videos that we're going to be talking about, part 2 is on building the site, part 3 is on optimizing the on-page factors and the content. The next step will be backlinking for page 1 rankings in a week or less. The step after that is how to monetize, how we can start generating some money from our sites. So guys, believe me when I say there's an awful lot to come. We've only just scratched the surface, and I really hope you've enjoyed it so far. Additional note I just want to mention is the bonuses that I'm giving away with this video. You'll see underneath there will be a locked area. You'll need to like Google Plus or tweet to unlock the download links. Now, what I've got for you in here is a list of 50 broad niches. Now, these are just great starting blocks, somewhere to start, so you can get an idea. That's the hardest thing, is coming up with the broad niche. Once you've got the broad niche, you can drill down into that all day long without a problem at all. You just need a starting point. So what I've done is I've put together 50 of the the major niches, the major broad niches that are out there for you guys to download. Apart from that, I've also got my keyword research template in both Excel format and in a Google Doc format. So all you've got to do, guys, is like, tweet or G+ that, and the page will automatically refresh and you'll be given the link to download that. So please go ahead and use those. The last thing I want to mention is that if you have enjoyed this video, please like it, please share it, please comment, do anything you can to help me get this out into people's eyes and ears, guys, because I mean, I'm doing this for free. I want to I want to broaden people's knowledge in terms of how they could make money online, but I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself. So it's taken me a few hours to put this together, and it will take me a considerable few more to finish the guide. So please, if you enjoyed it, like it, share it, comment. I promise I'll reply. We can talk about this all day long. I don't have a problem with doing that. Right guys, so that really is it. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Josh, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye bye.